Good evening, viewers. Welcome to another edition of the Business Forum. This is your host, Beatrice Mboj, saying good evening. This is a special edition on the first Belgian-Gambian Investment Forum. This is the first trade mission from Belgium to the Gambia. We hope at the end of the mission, we will begin to see joint ventures, partnerships, and even factories and industries established in the Gambia to facilitate the exportation of made in the Gambia goods and services. Stay tuned.
The opening statement for the first ever Belgium Economic Mission and on the occasion of the Trade and Investment Forum today. I would also want to recognize once again the presence of the Honorable Minister of Fisheries, Honorable James Gomez, representing the Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs. I would also want to recognize once again the President, the Ambassador, the Belgian Ambassador accredited to the Gambia and resident in Senegal, Mr. Philippe Collin. Recognize the presence of Her Excellency Madam Tenemba Jete, the Gambian Ambassador to Belgium, EU, accredited to Germany, Holland, Luxembourg, and ACP countries. Recognize the presence of the President of the Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industries, Mr. Mamadou Jagana. Recognize the presence of my able Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Hassan Fall, and also the presence of Mr. Peter Deroux, head of the Gambia section at the Chamber of Commerce for Belgium and Luxembourg, seated in Brussels. Ladies and gentlemen, I would also want to recognize the presence of other state ministers here present with us. The Honorable Minister of Information, Communication and Infrastructure, the Honorable Minister of Finance, the Honorable Minister of Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources, and the Honorable Minister of Petroleum and Energy. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, I wouldn't want to take much of your time, and I will proceed to invite the Honorable Minister of Fisheries, representing the Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs, to give his welcome remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Excellency, the Vice President and Minister for Women's Affairs, colleague ministers here present, Excellencies, Ambassador of the Gambia in Belgium and Ambassador of Belgium accredited to the Gambia, Country Officer of the World Bank, representative of the EU delegation to the Gambia, members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, permanent secretaries, Chief Executive Officer of Gambia Investment and Export Promotion Agency, Chief Executive Officer, the Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, directors and other senior government officials, our distinguished guests comprising members participating in this trade and investment mission from Federal Trade and Investment Agency, as well as Chamber of Commerce of Belgium and Luxembourg, private sector operators here present, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great honor for me to present these remarks on behalf of my colleague and brother, the Honorable Ousseynou Dabo, who is the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Gambians abroad, and to welcome you to the Gambia. Distinguished guests, it is with immense pleasure that I welcome the participants of this first ever economic mission from Belgium here to explore business and investment opportunities in the Gambia. Allow me to begin by extending the gratitude of the government and people of the Gambia under the leadership of His Excellency President Adama Barrow. to the Friendly Investment and Trade Agency, as well as to the Chamber of Commerce of Belgium and Luxembourg for choosing the Gambia as a destination to explore, establish, and undertake diverse trade investment and business activities. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs is extremely pleased that this maiden economic mission, facilitated by the Embassy of the Republic of the Gambia in Belgium, is taking place here today. Assuredly, this would be one of many such initiatives of the Ministry to rebrand the Gambia as an ideal business destination. The diplomatic service is committed to making trade and commercial diplomacy an integral element of its work, and this is already manifested by the hosting of this trade and investment mission from Belgium. Our distinguished guests would be pleased to learn that the newly validated National Development Plan of the Government of the Gambia outlined the engagement of the private sector for economic growth, transformation, and job creation as one of its 8 pillars. Priorities for implementation: the government is well aware of the transforming power of the private sector to stand ready for revitalizing partnership and cooperation geared towards re-engineering an innovative and inclusive business agenda that has potential to both the development role of the state to deliver public service, and secondly, the results to a positive and transforming impact on the lives of the citizens of this country. It is therefore with great expectation and confidence that our distinguished guests are being engaged in their various capacities as traders, business practitioners, inventors, and investors coming from Europe to interact closely with both public and private sector institutions in the Gambia. The results, we hope, will be the establishment of a sustainable and mutually beneficial trade and investment relationship. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the new government of the Gambia is taking impressive measures for microeconomic, political, and security reform with commendable results registered in the past year. There are indications of the unfailing resolve of the new government to engineer a new pathway to achieve a peaceful society, sustain economic growth and development with more international support, and an expansion of the participation of business and investment in our economy. The sky will be the only limit for the Gambia to achieve this sooner rather than later, its development goals. Over the course of our interaction schedule with various institutions, you will be introduced to an array of reasons why one should choose the Gambia as a business destination. These reasons certainly include the political stability we have bent on promoting and safeguarding our peaceful nature as a people, and the presence of highly skilled and qualified labor generously available through the energetic youthful population. The country's close proximity to Europe means you can fly in and fly out without having the fear of a jet lag. Yet there are huge markets of consumers seeking varied goods and service. In a short while, the Gambia Investment and Export Promotion Agency will elaborate further on the opportunities that are present in the Gambia and why Gambia can be considered as a sub-regional hub for profitable business and investment ventures. To conclude, I would like to recognize with gratitude the good effort of all those that work hand in hand to ensure that this mission is successful. I want to single out Mr. Peter Dero, who I understand is a very good friend of the Gambia and who has worked tirelessly in organizing this mission. Similarly, our thanks and appreciation goes to Mr. Johan Miller and his able team from Flender Investment and Trade Agency, the leading organizers and facilitators of this mission. We have been really informed and gratified to note the support provided by the management team of both the Flender Investment and Trade Agency and the Chamber of Commerce of Belgium and Luxembourg to ensure that that companies with high and respectable business profile, and as those present here today, are able to partake in this mission. I would like also to thank Ambassador Teneng Bajaite and her team at the Embassy of the Gambia in Brussels for supporting the organization of this mission. Our gratitude is also extended to the team in the Gambia, the staff of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, and the Gambians abroad, Minister of Trade and Regional Integration and Employment, Gambia Investment and Export Promotion Agency, who are all lead coordinators, Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and all other stakeholders that work towards the successful hosting of this mission. I would like to urge all of you to consider the Gambia as a second home, one where you have wholeheartedly welcome to establish and invest in. The Gambia government highly cherishes your choice of the Gambia and would like to assure you that every necessary support will be provided transparently through our mission to the European community and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Banjul, as well as those other collaborative institutions of the government, to help you establish settled business of trade ventures in the country that you all will consider as your second home. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, for that brilliant statement. Ladies and gentlemen, may we once again give another round of applause to the Honorable Minister of Justice and the Minister of Foreign Affairs. I think the Minister of Foreign Affairs is doing a great job and has manifested in the successful coordination of this mission from Belgium. And I think we are now living the moment where we can say that we have shifted from traditional diplomacy to trade-based and investment diplomacy. And like I said earlier, our ambassador, Her Excellency Madam Teneng Bajaite, has done a great job and epitomizes what we seek to achieve from our relations with embassies outside of the Gambia. This also emphasizes the importance of interdependence relations between institutions in government. We don't work in isolation. We are investment promotions, but we also depend on other institutions to make our work successful. So the amount of or the level of interdependence should be leveraged upon, because the efficiency of one institution in government also leads to the success of the other. So we need to leverage on that and strengthen the collaboration between the institutions towards greater national development. So on that note, I once again thank the Honorable Minister of Fisheries representing the Minister of Foreign Affairs on this auspicious occasion. Thank you, Honorable Minister. Ladies and gentlemen, before calling the Vice President, Her Excellency Ajaratu Fatoumata Tambajan, I feel honored, and I'm sure all of you feel honored to have Her Excellency with us this morning. I think it takes, great sense of commitment to work and great sense of contribution to national development to have, the person, of our level, to be with us here to grace this occasion and to offer the opening statement for this auspicious occasion. Madam Vice President, on behalf of GAIPA, the Board of Directors of GAIPA and the management and staff, the staff of the Ministry of Trade, Foreign Affairs, and being the chairman, I think, I have the liberty to congratulate and commend you, for being with us this morning. Thank you, Madam Vice President. You may continue to give your opening statement.
Chairman, honorable members, honorable cabinet ministers, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, country officer of the World Bank, representative of the European Union delegation in the Gambia, permanent secretaries, senior government officials here present, distinguished guests from the Flanders Trade and Investment Agency, as well as members of the Chambers of Commerce of Belgium and Luxembourg, members of the Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry under the presidency of Mr. Mohamed Jagana, private sector operators here present, ladies and gentlemen, all other protocols duly observed. On behalf of His Excellency President Adama Barrow, President of the Republic of the Gambia, and his entire cabinet of ministers, some sitting in our midst today, I wish to begin by welcoming our distinguished guests from the Flanders Trade and Investment Agency, as well as the Chamber of Commerce of Belgium and Luxembourg to the Gambia, the smiling coast of Africa. We are indeed honored that you have chosen the Gambia as a destination for exploring business opportunities, and that you are here today of this historic bilateral venture between the Kingdom of the Republic of the Gambia, of the Kingdom of Belgium and the Republic of the Gambia. Mr. Chairman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, a little over a year ago, the Gambia and its people had a new beginning, a new government that was voted into office for a multitude of reasons. One, as a government, we believe that the core of our mandate is to honor the social contract between the government and the citizens of this country. Two, is to transform and build a government that is capable of functioning effectively and committed to resolving the challenges of the country. Three, this includes economic and social development for shared prosperity of our peoples, reduce inequality, poverty alleviation, thereby improving the well-being of all Gambians. Mr. Chairman, our government is committed to ensuring that this do not remain as a dream for the citizens of the country, but a reality to be lived by every person in every corner of this country, as embedded in the recently validated National Development Plan for the period 2018 to 2021. This development framework, which covers, as I have already said, 2018 to 2021, will be presented to our development partners in Brussels later this year. In this way, I would like to encourage all of you to get copies of this abridged version to guide you in your investment decisions. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, cognizant of this great opportunity levied on the new government of Mr. Adama Barrow, and further recognizing the necessity for establishing sustainable partnership in delivering national development objectives, the government of the Gambia opened its doors to create avenues for both local and foreign private operators to invest and establish businesses in the Gambia. This, we strongly believe, will create a mutually beneficial relationship between the public and private sector, and thereby restoring confidence of the latter in the government. Mr. Chairman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is in line with the above that the government of the Gambia lauds the initiative of the Embassy of the Republic of the Gambia in Belgium, the Flanders Trade and Investment Agency, and the Chamber of Commerce of Belgium and Luxembourg to collaborate with national institutions responsible for trade and investment to our beloved country. This is the first of its kind, just as the previous speakers have said, and His Excellency and his government and the people of the Gambia duly appreciate your presence. I am confident that during the 2 engagement, our distinguished guests will be presented with the macroeconomic situation, the business outlook of the Gambia, as well as the national framework for public-private partnerships. It is also expected that the Gambian businesses will be exposed to opportunities of doing business, exploring goods and services to the Kingdom of Belgium and the European Union as a whole. Finally, distinguished guests, I wish to reiterate that the government of the Gambia is seeking increased and diverse investments and job creation opportunities across all regions of this country, not only within the Gambia, but not only within the urban areas, but also in the rural areas. And this is premised on the political vision of His Excellency President Adama Barrow to reprofile and rebrand the Gambia as a good destination for business and for other opportunities. This is the only way we can provide better livelihoods for our people wherever they may be. We are also confident that these investments would be established on sound and ethical basis, balancing profit-making and protection of public interests. Ladies and gentlemen, on that note, Mr. Chairman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Minister and Honorable Ambassador, Her Excellency Tenemba Jaite, we have seen the difference you are making in this country. As a woman, I salute you. Minister responsible for women, I salute you. This is an exemplary leadership that you have shown, not only when you were in Belgium, but also when you were in the public service. And this is why we need to really increase our confidence in female leadership. When the opportunities you have brought today is going to make a difference on the lives of our Gambian people, but more so our women, because who are predominantly in the informal sector. And I think giving them this exposure will provide them opportunities that would upscale their enterprises in terms of accessing partnerships, accessing capital finance, because this is where the problems are. And this is the sector also that provides employment in the informal sector. But we need to formalize that investment so that the human capital, the social capital that women represents, but also youth, our youth represent, would be leveraged to be able to contribute meaningfully to economic growth and prosperity for our people. On that note, Mr. Chairman, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I have the singular honor to declare this two-day engagement of the Belgian Trade and Investment Mission open. I wish you a fruitful deliberation, and I look forward to receiving the report of the mission. We are very particular in receiving reports, not only for it to gather dust, but receiving them and reading them so that they can inform policy, and also receiving them to ensure that whatever we deliberate here are operationalized, and that finally we all enjoy equal opportunities by creating business and employment for every Gambian. And on the last note, Mr. Chairman, I really don't mind your mistake.
Thank you.
Because after living for 22 years, it takes you time to know the new. So,
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Madam Vice President. I will say that the investment forum is now declared open, but I also want to thank you for setting the tone, for the following, the ensuing, items on the program. Her Excellency Of course, being very au fait, with what we do at GAIBA, have, to a large extent, on raising awareness of the private sectors of the domestic economy. And we will see from the ensuing presentations a lot of awareness raising on the sectors, and also from the presentation by the PPP unit of the Ministry of Finance, we'll be able to see the PPP frameworks and the PPP projects that we consider strategic for national development. We want to thank the government of His Excellency Adama Barrow through Her Excellency Madam Vice President for the continuous efforts in ensuring a conducive business environment, because this is on which we thrive as an investment promotion agency, and we congratulate you for that. A word of caution from the Vice President's statement is operating within the limits of the law and on ethical considerations. We have business people here. We know how aggressive businessmen are. But let us have some considerations for the law and also for ethical considerations. Let's bear that in mind. For the banks, the commercial banks, the private sector cannot thrive without access to affordable financing. We need cheaper rates of interest. We need more long-term financing for businesses to access, particularly SMEs. The bulk of the businesses in the economy are in the informal sector, and these are SMEs. They cannot access finance because of the stringent collateral requirements imposed by banks, the heavy rates of interest, and even in terms of benefiting from export financing, opportunities from the bank. This is difficult. The banks will ask, for example, for letters of credits, bank guarantees, which the average businessman cannot afford because of the cost attached. So I will appeal to the banks to look at the private sector as partners in development. Partners in national development. Let them go into strategic relationships with international financing institutions.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Can you tell me a bit more about the Gambian market, what your observations are since you've been here for a couple of days?
Yes, so indeed, Gambia, according to us and our industry, is a brand new opportunity because of the political change of last year. We see in Gambia new challenges that we are able to tackle, and that's our aim for the next months and next years, of course.
Can you tell me a bit more about the challenges you've observed?
Definitely. The first challenge is the actual situation of the port. So the port needs maintenance, development, and definitely promotion. So, as an experienced player in the world market, but specifically in Africa, we are developing ports and building ports. We are a specialized contractor for this type of works, and we would be pleased, and we are actually eager to play a role in the Gambia in the ports development.
Okay, are you the only business that is involved in ports development?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Are you the only business,
Yes.
out of the 45 delegates,
Yes.
are you the only business that's involved with ports development?
No, actually, you have a couple of players here. We are the most experienced company in West Africa. We are present in almost all the West African countries along the coast, and Gambia is a missing country. So, because of those challenges arise, in terms of the port development and construction and expansion, hopefully, and the coastal protection, which is very important as well. We are here to catch those opportunities and to tackle the challenge of the government and the country.
Thank you, viewers, for following us on the GCCI Business Forum. Our sponsors for the program are Ja Oil, they're the main sponsor, and we also want to acknowledge Mrs. Marie Diouf of Chun Demba Enterprise on Kairaba Avenue. She provided the outfit. Thank you once again. This is your host, Beatrice Mboj, saying good night.